The following program is paid for by Main Street Living.
Hi, I'm Pastor Matthew Harrison, president of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. Starting in the late 1950s, Lutheran Hour Ministries aired a television program called This is the Life in their efforts to bring Christ to the nations. It was a critically acclaimed show that used story and drama to convey eternal truths from God's Word. And it featured actors who were just getting started in their careers. Recently, Lutheran Hour Ministries, in partnership with Main Street Living, remastered and brought to HD quality about 50 of these programs. You may notice some young actors who've become very famous. And even though the props and styles are of the 1960s and 70s, the subject matter is still very relevant. So please sit back and enjoy this week's episode of This is the Life.
Of course I'm angry, and you can quote me.
Off the record, Commissioner, I don't blame you. Still, I think most of the people in this city feel you've done a great job.
Unfortunately, most people don't express their feelings publicly. And the way that budget committee is sharpening its axe, my department has been run efficiently and fairly, not a dime wasted. And these increases that we are asking for, they're vital to the community.
I'm sorry I'm late, Dave.
Tom, George Guthrie of the Chronicle. Tom Corbett, Deputy Commissioner.
A pleasure, Mr. Corbett.
How are you, sir?
I understand you've known each other a long time.
Yeah, we met in the service. We were both diving for the same foxhole. We practically canceled one another out right then and there.
Lucky we have hard heads.
Well, we can't compare with some of those solid ivory skulls on the council.
You better not quote that.
Don't worry, I'm in your corner.
No, actually, I can't blame the council for looking places to trim. But if they can find any waste in recreation and parks, I will eat that budget.
What about the increases you're asking for?
Oh, well, they're all in here. You'll find the biggest is for that recreational complex on the east side. It's very, very badly needed.
Look, Commissioner, I think it's about time we told the people all the facts about what your department has been doing and what you want it to do. So instead of just one interview, if it's all right with you, I'd like to cover your entire operation in depth.
Great. You'll be doing a real service. Tom, why don't you take Mr. Guthrie in tow? Show him whatever he wants to see.
Okay, sure. Let me just get a couple calls out of the way first.
Of course.
You know, they don't come any finer than Tom Corbett. It's men like him with their devotion to public interest that have made this department what it is.
Al, this is Tom. Look, I've got to see you. Can you come over after dinner? I can't explain now, but it's important. All right, I'll see you.
Well, I guess I'd better take off. I told Jane and Betty I'd pick them up around 8.
Well, you better get going then.
Oh, gosh, I'm so anxious to see the exhibit. I want to get all the ideas I can before we talk to the decorator. Oh, Tom, I'm so anxious to move.
Means that much to you, huh?
Oh, it's the kind of house I've always dreamed about. We're going to be so happy there.
That's probably Al. Hello, Al.
Tom, how are
Come
you?
in.
Hello, Al.
Hello, Joyce. Well, you're looking wonderful as always.
Oh, you flatter you. How's the construction business?
Fine.
Good. Well, I hate to say hello and goodbye, but I'm off to Worthington's to the decorators' exhibit.
Oh, I've seen it. You'll enjoy it.
Good. Goodbye, dear.
Bye, dear.
Goodbye,
Al.
Joyce.
Come in. Drink?
Yeah, thanks.
Name it.
This'll do. Straight.
Fine.
Well, what's up? You sounded a little shook over the phone.
Well, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought you ought to know.
What?
The Chronicle is going to start a series of features on the department.
Oh.
I was with their reporter all afternoon, a fellow named Guthrie. He's very sharp, Al. And if he really starts digging...
Well, so what if he does? The way you've operated, nobody could ever prove a thing.
Yeah, but what if he gets curious about that house I'm buying?
Well, so you got a bargain.
Oh, Al.
But there's no law against that.
Unless it comes out that I'm buying the house from a cousin of yours at way under appraisal.
Look, my contract with your department can stand any scrutiny.
Can it, really?
You sold the commissioner on it, didn't you?
Yeah. Because he trusts me.
And so does everybody else.
I don't know.
You're worrying too much.
Maybe.
And besides, if you should pull out of escrow now, it might only start somebody wondering. No, let's just keep in touch and see what develops. Meantime, play it cool, okay?
All right.
I told Gloria that if you could get away on Saturday, we'd drive up and see them.
Yeah, I'll try.
Oh, and the pastor called. He said he'd drop in and see you tomorrow.
Fine.
You've simply got to get away and relax.
Yeah, maybe when things let up.
I talked to Joyce, and she said that Tom's just as nervous and on edge as you are. Why don't the two of you take a couple of days off? Go fishing like you used to.
Maybe the four of us could go up to Pine Lake again. You two girls take it easy, and Tom and I could go out and try our luck.
You're beginning to relax already.
To Pine Lake.
I won't take any more of your time right now, Dave.
Well, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you dropping by, Pastor.
Give my best to Ellen.
Well, I will, thank you.
Morning, Pastor.
Tom, good to see you.
Thank you.
Well, Tom, the pastor dropped by to give us some good news.
Oh?
I was telling Dave that I've been talking with some other clergymen. And if you people need it, you'll have our support regarding those new improvements you're recommending. We think your proposals are vital.
That's good to hear, Pastor.
We're very grateful, thank you.
Well, I must be getting along.
We keep on getting this kind of civic endorsement. Those knuckleheads on the council will have to listen.
Maybe. But you know, Dave, everything considered, I wonder if we're being smart. Locking horns with City Hall right now.
What's happened to you? Since when have you ever run from a fight?
I just have a hunch we ought to duck this one. The mood that city council's in, if we go in and fight for a budget increase, we're liable to wind up with less than we've got right now.
If we back down, it'll look as if we've been padding. Tom, the trouble with you is that you're getting as punchy as I am. We need to get away from these pressures. Ellen and I were talking last night about you and Joyce coming up to Pine Lodge with us again after these things are all settled. What do you say?
Sometimes I wish I'd never taken on anything more important than catching fish.
Well, same here. I'm glad that you've been with me, Tom. Frankly, I don't know what I would have done without your help and loyalty. I want you to know that.
Al, are you sure?
Well, that's the word. Apparently your department's in for a going over, just in case they can find anything that might tarnish your boss's halo.
Well, then look, we've got to call off the house deal.
Yeah, it might be safer. Of course, they're after Dave, not you. But it might be smart if you quietly pulled out of escrow. Nobody ever needs to know, and, well, I'll try and make it up to you in cash.
Man, how am I ever going to explain this to my wife? About the house.
Well, that's your problem.
She's been telling all our friends.
Look, old friend, let me tell you something. I'm not about to take a fall because of your wife. Now, play it cool. Use some of your well-known diplomacy with those investigators. And tout that reporter off.
Al, if I start that, it'll only cause suspicion.
Look, I don't care how you do it. Just keep me out of it. Because if I get tied in, your legal problems are going to be the least of your worries.
But, Tom, I don't understand.
Honey, I just think that in the long run, we'd be smarter to stay right here and avoid all the additional expense of a new house.
But you said we could afford it. That our investments were paying off.
I know. Well, things haven't quite worked out the way I'd hoped. Oh, we're getting by, but, well, we've got to be practical, Joyce. It isn't only the cost of the house. There'd be moving expenses, landscaping, more furniture.
What about our friends? What'll we say?
Honey, I don't care what they think.
Tom, are you telling me everything?
Of course.
But it's all so sudden. I hadn't the slightest idea.
I'm sorry.
I've never asked you much about our investments. I thought that was your concern. What's gone wrong?
I don't want to get into that right now.
You don't have to bite my head off. All I want to know is...
All right. Some other time. Not tonight. I've had enough for one day. I'm sorry about the house. I'm sorry about a lot of things.
Tom?
Oh,
What is it?
I just couldn't settle down.
Darling, if it's about the house, it's all right. Darling, I'll admit I'm disappointed, but... Well, if we can't afford it, that's that. There'll be other houses.
Maybe.
Of course there will. Now, come on, try and get some rest.
In a little while.
Tom, this just isn't like you. There is something else, isn't there? Is it Dave? Did you have an argument with Dave?
No.
Then what is it? Please tell me. What's happened? What in the world is it?
That house. You want to know why it was such a bargain? It was a bribe.
Bribe?
From Al Woods.
Oh, Tom, you just can't mean that. And all that talk about investments. The money we've spent.
Kickbacks. Money I got from under the table.
Why? Why?
We needed things. My salary wasn't enough.
Does Dave know?
No.
Does anyone know?
Only those people with whom I'm involved.
At least it gives us a little time to think.
Not very much. The department's going to be investigated. If somebody finds out what's been happening, that reporter digs up anything.
Listen,
Just what could happen to me, to us. The public scandal could ruin Dave, too.
Joan. Joan, you get George Guthrie for me, the Chronicle? Who? On number 3? Thank you. Hello, Joyce.
Hello, Dave. Tom asked me to call you. He's not feeling very well.
Sorry to hear that. What's wrong?
Oh, he's just a little under the weather. He'll call you later.
Tell him to take it easy. A lot of virus around.
I think he'll be all right.
Tell him to take a look at the morning paper, too. We've got a nice story in it.
Yes, I'll tell him. Yes, I will, Dave. Goodbye. Dave said there's a story in today's paper you should read.
Oh? Park commissioner defies council to find waste. Oh, brother. If that council needed anything to light its fuse, they'll be after him like a pack of wolves.
Maybe they won't find anything. You did say you'd been careful.
Yeah, but Dave's almost daring them to find something to smear him with.
Can't you talk to him? Get him to back off a little without admitting anything?
Honey, I've tried.
Then I think all we can do is just wait and hope. Tom, it isn't as though you'd taken money from the department. I mean, if a construction company wants to share their profits with you...
Joyce, that's no good. No matter how you slice it, I'm guilty of having given contracts to people who paid me off.
But can't we just sit tight? Maybe the whole thing will blow over.
Even if, by some miracle, nobody discovered anything, I'd still be in Al's pocket. It can only get dirtier the longer I wait. If I could just tell Dave the truth now, it would at least give him a chance to play it so that he could try to protect himself. But I don't think there's any escape for me, no matter how long I stall. I'm sick of lying and pretending and being afraid. I'm going to get it over with right now. I'd rather tell him than have him find out from somewhere else.
Oh, Tom.
I can't believe it. If you needed money that bad, why didn't you say so? We could have worked something out.
I don't know. Maybe it was pride or just plain stupidity. All I can say is I've never felt so badly about anything in my whole life. I'll do all I can to make restitution. I'll play this thing any way you want, Dave.
Do you realize where this puts me?
I will swear that you had absolutely no knowledge of what I was doing.
That's just it. I'll say I should have known. Look, Joyce told me that you were under the weather. Let's keep it that way temporarily. You go home. Stay there. Don't talk to anybody. That'll give me a chance to think.
No, that's all right. I've got the invitation right here. Hold on. That's right. Saturday the 22nd at 10. Oh, it should be a lovely affair. Marge, can I call you tomorrow? David just came home. Yes, we'll make plans for a little shopping expedition. Okay. Yes, we'll do. Bye-bye now. I was getting worried.
I'm sorry.
Can I get you anything?
No, thank you.
I was talking to Marge about the Crawford wedding. It's a week from Saturday. You're going to be able to make it, aren't you?
Yeah. I suppose so, unless something unforeseen comes up.
What's the matter?
Decisions. Like always.
Anything I can help with?
No. Thanks, anyway.
I thought you and Mr. Corbett might be able to give me a few minutes.
I'd be glad to help, but Corbett won't be in for a few days. He's a little under the weather.
Sorry to hear that. Perhaps I might phone him at home.
I think it's best if he weren't disturbed.
Nothing serious, is it?
Look, will you leave him alone? He's just trying to get a rest. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have barked at you.
It's okay. I understand how important Mr. Corbett is to you. And in fact, that's the angle I've taken in tomorrow's installment.
Oh, it's a wonderful article.
Yeah, I read it.
Well, don't be so modest. It's about time someone said some of these nice things in print about you and Tom.
I'm not being modest. It's just that I've got to get going.
Do you have any idea when Tom's coming back to the office?
No.
When I talked to Joyce yesterday, she sounded... I don't know. Maybe I ought to stop around and see them.
No, I wouldn't.
Why not?
Because I think they should just be left alone.
Well, that's an odd thing for you to say.
Tom is in no condition to see anyone. Please take my word for it. I know I should tell the authorities, but what is the real justice here?
I sympathize with your dilemma.
See, Tom confessed on his own, offered to make restitution. He couldn't be more conscience-stricken. The city hasn't actually suffered. Now, isn't there room here for some Christian compassion?
You mean by keeping it quiet?
Why not? If Tom, with my help, were to pay back every cent, I were to let him resign, go somewhere else, build a new life, wouldn't that be more charitable than exposing him and destroying him?
There's a great deal in what you say. Also, it would save you from embarrassment, wouldn't it?
All right. I'm thinking myself, too. Why shouldn't I? I've worked hard to build my department. And if Tom is exposed, especially now, my enemies will do all they can to twist it, to try to nail me. And everything that I have done is liable to go down the drain with Tom. And my wife, too, will have to suffer. Now, do you blame me for looking on both sides?
No, Dave, I don't.
Well, what do I do? I haven't the right to put you on that spot.
Dave? No matter what decision you make, it'll have to be one that you can square with your Christian conscience. It'll have to be one that you and Tom and your families can live with for the rest of your lives. I think you know what that decision is. Would you like to pray with me? Ask the Lord for strength and guidance? Our Heavenly Father, we come to you in the name of Jesus Christ, your Son. Grant to David Burke the courage to make the right decision.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Come on in.
Thanks. Joyce around?
Gone to bed. Drink?
No, thanks.
Sit down. Dave, if it'll make it any easier, I realize there's only one thing you can do. I've known it from the start, so has Joyce.
Well, it doesn't make it any easier. I wish there were another way.
There isn't. You have a responsibility to the people of this city for the honest conduct of your office. Moral responsibility you can't evade. Whatever happens, I've got it coming. I'm only sorry if any of the blame has to rub off onto you.
Well, I'll manage. And I'll do whatever I can to help you and Joyce.
Thanks. But that's one thing I don't have coming. I don't expect forgiveness for what I've done.
I want you to know that I personally hold nothing against you. And I know I'm speaking for Ellen, too.
Somehow that makes me feel even worse.
There's only one place to take your guilty conscience. You really want to get rid of it.
Dave, I've prayed until I run out of words.
Tom, do something. Go talk to Pastor Martin. I did earlier. That's why I'm here. We've both got a rough road ahead of us. And with God's help, we can both do whatever we have to do. How about it?
This is The Life is brought to you by the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod in cooperation with the Lutheran Laymen's League and is presented by this station as a public service to the religious life of the community.
We are the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod, and you will find our 6,000 congregations listed at www.lcms.org. This program has been brought to you by Main Street Living, which relies on the generosity of viewers to support this programming. They appreciate your prayers and would also appreciate your financial support. You can view additional episodes of This is the Life on the Main Street Living website. Thanks for watching, and join us again next week, same time, same channel, for another episode of This is the Life.